Hey everybody, it's your boy, Big Ben Chunko, with First and Blast. I'm coming at you with another video. Today we're going to talk quarterbacks, who to start, who to sit, you know. You can follow me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days, at Chunko Ben. If you want to play some heads up on DraftKings this week, send me a challenge at Big B814. Okay, we're going to jump right into it here. I got the quarterbacks for start and sit this week, week 2. So I'm going to exclude the Dolphins-Bills game because it happened last night, and it was a pretty obvious, start sit for those games. Other than Tua got hurt last night, so we're going to jump right into this. Okay, the first game I have is San Francisco and Minnesota. So we have Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold. I'm starting Brock Purdy and I'm sitting Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, I know he throws at Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison's banged up a little bit. San Francisco is going to be a tough game, so I would fade him. I'm sure most people don't even have him unless you're in like a super flex or a 2-quarterback league. But, if you have to use him, use him. But I would say don't use him this week. Next, we have Seattle and New England. I'm starting Geno Smith, and I'm sitting any New England quarterback. I don't care who they roll out there. Drake May, Jacoby Brissett's going to get the start. But I don't care who they have any week. I'm not playing any of their quarterbacks at this point. Geno Smith, he should be tough this week. I mean, New England, they have a tough defense, but Geno Smith should be okay. All right, the next game is the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. Daniel Jones, I know people might say I'm crazy. I'm starting him this week. The Commanders looked horrible. And I know Tampa Bay, they played Tampa Bay last week. And, yes, they have better receivers than New York. But I think this is a week, if we're going to see anything from the league neighbors, this is definitely the week we're going to see them just blow up. And I'd feel comfortable going with Daniel Jones this week. Now, if you're in an 8-man, 10-man league, you don't have to use Daniel Jones. I wouldn't use Daniel Jones. But, even a good DraftKings play this week, any kind of DFS, I think Daniel Jones would be a good play. Then we have Jaden Daniels, who I also have as a start. He had a tough game last week against Tampa Bay, going to be much easier against New York. He still rushed for 2 touchdowns. Didn't have any throwing touchdowns, but, I think if, we draft someone like Jaden Daniels, we're basically banking on the rushing more than we are the passing touchdowns. So Jaden Daniels definitely a start. Next game I have is the Chargers and the Panthers. Justin Herbert is a start. Bryce Young, I'm sitting him at this point. He looked horrible. He looked horrible last week, so at this point, leave him be. Then we have New Orleans at Dallas. I'm sitting Derek Carr, and I'm starting Dak Prescott. Carr, he looked good, but he beat up on the Panthers. So this week, unless you absolutely need him, you can sit him. But start Dak Prescott. Then we have the Colts and the Packers. You're starting Anthony Richardson. He has huge upside. He actually looked like a lot better passer this year, too. He had that long pass last week. And for Green Bay, they're thinking Malik Willis, but, Ryan Tannehill's there now. But Green Bay, I don't care who they roll out, sit them. Cleveland and Jacksonville. I'm sitting both these guys. I'm sitting Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. They both looked horrible last week. And unless you need them, I would say Trevor Lawrence, you could start, but I'm not trusting Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's going to be an easier matchup this week with Jacksonville, but the guy looks horrible. If he doesn't get it together, I'm sure we're going to see Jameis Winston before the year's over. So this guy, I'm just leaving him be at this point. Then we got the Jets and the Titans. I'm starting Aaron Rodgers and I'm sitting Will Levis. Levis looked terrible last week against the Bears. Chicago should have never won that game. Their defense won that game basically because Will Levis played horrible. interception after interception. He just looked bad. So leave him be, but I would start Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to feast. Then we got Tampa Bay and Detroit. Baker Mayfield, start. Jared Goff, also a start. Both had good week ones. Mayfield obviously had a better week one. He's going to go against a tougher team, though. But he's still going to be good. Baker Mayfield, you have to roll him out as a start this week. I mean, you know, unless you have better options, which I'm thinking you probably don't, I'm rolling him out. Then we have the Raiders in Baltimore. The Las Vegas Raiders and Baltimore Ravens. You know, I don't care who the Raiders roll out. Sit. You know, sit them, don't play them, forget about them. You know, what's the old saying? Forget about it, you know. Don't play any Raiders quarterback. Lamar Jackson, obviously, he's an automatic start every week. And then we have the Rams and the Cardinals. Matt Stafford, start. Kyler Murray, I'm on defense with. I have him on my paper as a start. But if I don't have to play Kyler Murray, I won't. Here's the thing. I'm kind of biased with Kyler Murray because I've never really liked him since he came into the league. I know he's had some good, fantasy weeks. He's not a good NFL quarterback, not at all. I mean, anybody can argue that if they want to. For fantasy, he's okay at times. But, you know, and I'm not really convinced. I mean, I like Marvin Harrison Jr., but if you watched any of my previous videos or spoke to me, I would have told you to avoid him. You know, I mean, avoid him like he has COVID in 2020, you know, because rookies are going to have their up and downs. They're definitely going to have their up and downs week in and week out. I understand Marvin Harrison Jr., you know, most people drafted him, so they want to play Kyler Murray because they think he's going to bust out. Listen, if Murray's your best option this week, go with Murray. But most, even in 12-man leagues, now 14, 16-man leagues or super flexes or two quarterback leagues are a different situation. But most 8, 10, 12-man leagues, I would say, well, any 8-man league, you're going to find a better option this week. 10-man league, going to definitely have a better option. And I was looking through all my 12-man leagues because that's all I personally play. And there was a lot better options than Kyler Murray this week, matchup-wise. You know, like I said, we already went over. Throw Daniel Jones in, you know. I mean, good matchup. Then we have Cincinnati and Kansas City. Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. They're both automatic starts. Don't really have to say too much about them. You know, unless you've been living under a rock, you watch football, you know, both these guys are good. And, you know, I know Cincinnati played not real great last week. Well, they didn't play good, and I just had to say they just played horrible. But, you know, they're going to come around. So Joe Burrow is a start. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, automatic start. Pittsburgh and Denver. This is like the battle of, you know, not good offenses. But Pittsburgh, it looks like they're going with Justin Fields again. Here I have Justin Fields as a start. He's another guy that's available on most waiver wires. You can go up and grab him. Denver, horrible. So, you know, they should definitely... Justin Fields should do okay. If not passing, he should have enough rushing yards to get that 17, 18 points, you know, that you need. Bo Nix, again, rookie quarterback and on a really bad team. You know, just fade him. That's, I mean, unless you have to use Bo Nix, I won't even touch him. Then we have Chicago and Houston. Caleb Williams is a definitely sit for me. I mean, you know, another guy I wasn't impressed with. Don't think he should have been the first round pick. I mean, Chicago messed up. Should have took Jaden Daniels, you know. But, you know, other people might argue with me. You know, he was horrible last week. What did he have? 83 yards. They should have lost that game, you know. And I just sit him. Avoid him this week, especially because Roma Dunze and Keenan Allen are both banged up. We don't even know if they're going to play. You know, they both had limited practices yesterday. I think Keenan Allen actually sat out of practice, if I can remember right. But if not, they both had limited practices. So stay away this week. Then the last game of the night, the Monday night games, Atlanta and Philadelphia. Kirk Cousins. I know he didn't look good last week, but I have him as I have him as a start and sit. depending on your needs. You know, I could make, 10 reasons to start him and 10 reasons to sit him. And I'm sure if you have him, you're thinking the same thing. So he could go either way. And Philadelphia, obviously Jalen Hurts, smash button, automatic start all day long. So, okay, guys, this is my quarterback start and sit for week 2. If you happen to see this on YouTube, show your boy some love, like, subscribe. And I will be having a running back, receiver, and tight end videos out by today and Saturday. So make sure you're on the lookout for them. All right, later. Good luck.